So the LeetCode problem we are going to solve now is called surrounded regions. We can see that this one is a LeetCode medium problem and also very well like problem. Now the statement is quite straightforward that we are given an M cross N matrix named board that contains bunch of different x's and bunch of different zeros. Now we need to capture all the regions that are four directionally surrounded by x. And if a region is captured, then we need to flip all the zeros into that particular region into the axis that is a surrounded region. So let's try to understand what they are trying to ask. We are given in this example an M cross N board where we can see that there are bunch of different x values and bunch of different zero values. Now in this case, what is the definition of any particular zero region to be surrounded? A region is surrounded if in all four directions it is connected by some sort of x in each one of them. If that is the case, we can determine that this particular region is surrounded. Now notice one important thing. We are not concerned with its immediate neighbor, but even if the neighbor of the neighbor is still a value x, then we can determine that that particular value is still surrounded by x's. So the moment we identify a surrounded region, all we need to do is convert all the zeros into x's, which means we can see that this node is surrounded by 4 x's in these four directions. Same way with this particular zero, it is surrounded by these 4 x's, and same way for this particular zero, it is surrounded by these 4 x's. So logically, all of these would be converted into the x's, which we can see over here. But for this particular region, it is only surrounded by x in 3 different directions, not 4. So we are not going to flip this 0 into x. We are going to leave it as it is. And then we need to return this state of the M cross N grid as part of the answer. So let's try to see that what is the simplest logic we can use to solve this problem. Now, let me give you one example of bunch of different zero potential values in all of these different grids. Let's say for this particular grid, if we have any single value 0, then that value has to be not surrounded region. Why? Because currently this particular value is located over here. Even if in all the other directions we have access, then also we would never be able to get a 4 directional pattern where this region becomes a surrounded region. So in the answer, we are always going to have a scenario where this 0 is going to remain 0. Same way for this 3 by 3 grid, let's say that if we have any particular 0 present over here, and let's say that all the other values are currently x's, then we can very easily determine that this 0 is actually surrounded by x's in all 4 directions. So in the answer, when we try to create, basically this 0 has to be flipped into x. That is true. But let's say instead of doing that, instead of this being 0 in this middle portion, let's say if we have 0 located at any of these edges, any of these, okay? I'm not saying all of them are zeros. Let's say any one of this is a 0, and let's say that all the other values are x's. So I'm currently marking these by a bunch of different x's. This region would never be surrounded. That's a given fact. Why it would never be surrounded? Because there is always going to be 1 or 2 directions where it is located on the edge, which means there can never be an x planted over here. So if the node is in the middle, then it has the possibility of being a surrounded region. But if we identify 0 at any particular edge, then that 0 is always going to be a not surrounded region. So it does not needs to be changed. That is what I'm trying to explain. Now let's try to see one more example in this case. Let's say if we have any particular these 4 zeros placed like this and all the other values are x's. In this case, all of these zeros has to be converted into the x's because all of this becomes a surrounded region. But for some example, if we have any particular 0 located over here, we already established that this does not needs to be changed. That is number one thing. Second thing is that not only this does not needs to be changed. Let's say that if there are any particular other zeros connected with this value, then also they are also going to be not surrounded regions. Once again, I repeat, if there are any particular zeros that are connected with this edge, then we can determine that this is also going to be not a surrounded region, and we are going to exploit this property to its fullest. Because remember, in this case particular, this 0 is actually always going to have one more 0 located over here, which means it can never be 4 directionally challenged by another 0. And this is what we are going to use to solve this problem. What we are simply going to do is that we are going to treat this as a graph problem. On not only a graph problem, we are also going to treat it as a graph traversal problem, where we need to do the depth first search. At any given moment we identify a value that is currently 0. The thing is, we are not just going to blindly start looking for zeros in all of these particular grids. That it makes no sense. If there is any particular 0 in the middle, there it might be possible that there might be access in all 4 directions that could prevent it from becoming a not surrounded region. What we are going to do is we will try to only traverse into the edges of this particular matrix, and for each of the edges we will try to find that if there exists any particular 0, then we are going to start doing the DFS, and all the values that we identified through this iteration, we are just going to mark those numbers that they are always going to be 4 directionally not surrounded regions, and all the other regions or all the other values we can simply mark them by X. So let's try to understand this with an example that I'm trying to show you. Let's say that in this case we are currently given that these two nodes are currently zeros, and let's say that this is connected with this 0, and let's say that this one is not connected with anyone else, and then we have this 0 connected like this, and all the other values are currently X values. So logically the algorithm I'm proposing is that we start iterating over this m cross n grid in first of all the edges. So let's say that these 4 are the edges, and then we once again identify this edge and this edge, and then this edge and this edge. So we found a one edge that contains a value 0. The moment we identify one edge that contains the value 0, first of all we are going to mark this one as a special 0. So let's say that I'm keeping track of all the zeros that I have been able to identify so far, and let's say that this one is a special character that contains a 0 at the edge. Then we are going to do the DFS operation in all 4 directions to find all the connected zeros. But we can see that this one does not have any connected zeros. So we are just going to say that this is the only 0 we find, and then continue with our iteration. Once again we are at this position, this is also X. Once again we identified one more 0. So the moment we identify one more 0, we are going to mark it as a special character, and then we are going to start doing the DFS operation in all 4 directions. This one is an X, so we don't do anything. This one is an X, so we don't do anything. But this one is not an X, so this one is also a 0, and a 0 that has been found by reaching a 0 that was present in the edge. So once again we are also going to mark this as a special character, and then now from now on we cannot move ahead anywhere forward, so we cannot do anything. On top of it, for our DFS operation we will have to keep track of all the visited nodes, so we are also going to mark all the visited nodes as well. So it's just simply for our convenience, and that's it. So once again we don't find any more access, so then we simply say that we iterated all the edges. We did the DFS on whenever we found a 0 at the edge, and we marked those nodes, and apart from these nodes everything else should be converted into the X's, which means this node has to be converted into an X, and that's it. This is the state of m cross n that we need to return of all the zeros that are not surrounded, and all the surrounded regions are being converted into the X's. So that's it. This is the whole solution. If we try to understand the time and space complexity, in this case time complexity is going to be big O of m cross n, because we will have to iterate over every single nodes, and this is an example of adjacency matrix kind of representation for the graph. Space complexity, well, this is debatable. If you have to create a new snapshot, then you might have to use m cross n space. If you can modify this current existing node just by changing this character from something else from 0, maybe something like a hash or something, then also we can use the same pattern or same logic. So it's up to you how you want to approach that, or how your interviewer wants to do that. It can be a common space complexity, or if you are not allowed to change the input, then it is going to be big O of m cross n space complexity. So now let's try to see the coding solution for this one. So the coding solution is quite straightforward. We need to solve the given board, and first we are going to check for the edge case that if the given board is equal to null, we can simply return. If that is not the case, we are going to define our m and our n. Then we are going to start iterating over the boundary and start marking all the zeros that we find on the boundary as like a temporary character or a temporary variable. So let's say that we run two loops. We have this if condition that if the given node is equal to 0 or m cross m minus 1 and j is equal to 0 or n minus 1, which means we are checking for the edge nodes. On top of it, we are also checking that if the given board position marks the value as 0. If that is the case, then we are going to call our DFS method. In the DFS method, we are checking that all the surrounded regions that we need to find. So this is our DFS method, where we are first of all checking that if the given node is equal to null, or we exhausted all the possibilities, we can simply return. If that is not the case, we are going to mark that particular value as a temporary character t, stating that this has been visited, and we are going to run the DFS operation in all four directions repetitively, which means we are only going to be left with temporary values that are currently visited by us after this DFS operation, that are connected with the zeros that are located at the edge. Then once that is done, we simply need to check and capture all the surrounded regions. So for that, we can simply iterate over the given input array and check that if the given input board position is equal to 0, which means it is not t, then we are going to simply mark it as x. If that is not the case, and if that value is t, which means it is not a surrounded region, so we are going to mark it as 0. And that's it. This is the whole solution. Let's try to run this code. Okay, seems like our solution is working as expected. Let's submit this code. And our code is exceptionally faster compared to all the other solutions, which is great to see. And once again, you can find the solution on my GitHub repository. Link is in the description. Thank you.